Hey y'all, it's Amber from Chance for Adventure. We are going to be talking about mobile check-in for Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. I have officially hit my 45-day mark and I'm so excited because that means I am one day closer to getting on this ship. So come along with me. We're going to talk about things that you'll need to check in, just some things that I learned during this check-in process since this was my first time, and then also kind of open it up for discussion on maybe some things that you know that I don't, to help me for my next one. So here we go. All right guys, so the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is open up your Royal Caribbean app. I'm gonna show this on screen, just kind of walk you through it. You're gonna click that little person icon that's up in the top right, and then you should see start check-in. If not, it'll give you the date of your check-in. Mine happened to happen right at the 45-day mark. I know that there was a comment thread in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in that somebody was saying, oh, theirs is at 60. I don't know how dated their information is, but mine is current as of today, January 10th, 2023. Once you go ahead and click on Start Check-in, you will see three little tabs. You'll see travel info, arrival time, and then also health status. You're gonna go ahead and click on arrival time. This to me was the most important part. You can go back and fill in the other stuff later. My priority this morning when I was doing this at midnight, because I did it right at the 45-day mark, I wanted to pick my boarding time. So you can go back and fill in your personal information later. It's not required. You'll notice once you click on this, they have an assortment of times that are about every 30 minutes or so, beginning at 10:30 a.m. Our all aboard time is 4 p.m. with a sail away out of Miami at 4:30. Based on this, I'm assuming that they are telling me that they are going to get the wellness check done, you checked in, and you're on the ship within 30 minutes. Because if that last group shows up at 3:30, they've got 30 minutes to get all of that done and on the ship. Otherwise, there's gonna be some delays. So if you have any experience with this, please let me know down in the comments what your most recent experience was with this, specifically in the Port of Miami, because that is where I'm going out of. I've selected my time, and you can now see that my arrival time says, see you on February 24th at 10:30 for your wellness check. So now I went ahead and tried to complete my little brother's online check-in, clicked on his arrival time tab for him and selected the exact same time because obviously we're gonna be arriving together. So you can now see that my health status says that it cannot be completed until February 23rd, which is the day before we board. Basically, this is just a questionnaire asking you if you've had any symptoms recently. This is very similar, if you remember, pre-COVID days, the little piece of paper that they gave you at check-in at the cruise terminal, where you would just basically answer and sign off saying, no, I haven't had a fever, I haven't had, vomiting, diarrhea. There is a COVID-related question or two down at the bottom, but pretty generic. So you'll go ahead and answer that the day before, because obviously they don't want me answering it now because my answers now might be different than they are then. I'm going to go ahead and open up that tab that says traveler info just so you can see it. Again, I did this at the first thing that it will ask you to do when you come back to this is to scan your passport. If we had already selected that those were the documents that we were going to be using for boarding, if you're using other things, it will populate those options for you as well. Using the passport and scanning it was so simple. You just click scan your passport, it opens up your camera on your smartphone, you scan it, and it populates all of your passport information in there for you automatically. You don't have to worry about mixing up numbers when you're crossing them over. It does it all for you. It's a good thing to double check, but it really was nice that it just kind of transferred all that information instantly. I didn't have to look for anything other than when I was cross-checking. You'll notice the second thing it says is to snap your security photo. On this one, make sure you're not wearing any hats, glasses on your face. That way you have a really crisp, clean picture. I also suggest using really good lighting, also a blank background. I like to think of this as it's very similar to taking a passport photo. I'm curious to see if these will actually work. We've been on cruises before and we've submitted these security photos, with our check-in, and they ended up retaking them when we got to the terminal. So let me know down in the comments if you've actually had them work. And again, I've not cruised since March of 2019. So it's been a while. So I'm curious to see if things have changed in these 4 years. The third thing is to enter your country of residency and your birth country, add your address. Then you've got your emergency contact. Please note that it only asks for their first name and then their phone number. Please make sure that this emergency contact is somebody that is not on the ship with you. And also somebody who's going to answer their phone. We have a running joke, my brother and I, that our dad is probably not the best choice for emergency contact because he'll probably look at the phone number, not recognize it, and not answer. Or he won't have service. Our childhood home is an underground home, so unless you're outside, you don't have cell service. So hopefully we will not get into a situation during the Sibling Cruise 3.0 that we need to contact our emergency contacts. So then after you do that, you're going to add your onboard expense account. If you're doing a debit card, they will usually put a hold on your debit card of $100. Last thing that you need to do, read the cruise contract. But in all seriousness, there is a ton of information in here that is very useful. Please familiarize yourself with it. So boom, that part is now done. You will receive your set sail pass. After all of that information is complete, it'll pop up on your phone. It'll give you the option to add it to your Apple Wallet if you're using an iPhone. I would go ahead and do that. I always add things to my Apple Wallet just because you never know if you get to the terminal, maybe service is bad, maybe the Wi-Fi is down, who knows. So that way you can still pull it up and you won't have any snags. Nobody wants their embarkation day to run slower than it has to. So I would go ahead and do that just to speed up the process. Well, now let's look at it from a computer perspective. I just did it through Safari on my iPhone because again, it was midnight and I wanted to kind of see the difference just in the moment while I was thinking about it. So I did notice that it still looks the same as what it did on my MacBook, so it's looking very similar. So the first thing that you will notice is that they tell you that you were required to download the app prior to sailing. I thought it was a super simple process. Jump into that app, start getting used to it, so that way you don't have any holdups on embarkation day when you get there and your vacation can get started as soon as possible. You will notice that up at the top that the arrival time is now the last thing that you can pick, and I don't have the option to skip ahead to that. So when I did it through the app, I was able to skip right to arrival time and select my window. Through the website, it will not allow you to do that. You have to have all that information. If you're just interested at midnight or whenever you check in the moment, just getting that embarkation time that is perfect for your arrival time, I would go ahead and just do it through the app because then you get that choice. Maybe you're flying in, maybe you're driving in, and an early one would not work for you. So you get more freedom if that is what you decide to do through the app. Well, that was it. That was my check-in process this morning. It's been a long day. If this was helpful to you, and if you would like further tips, please consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. We would love to have you here. Again, we've got this cruise in February, Sibling Cruise 3.0, and if you want updates on that because it's gonna be a lot of fun, it's his birthday, definitely wanna subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a minute of it. We've also got our spring break cruise out of Galveston on the Allure of the Seas that's coming up. It will be our first Oasis class ship. That one will just be me and David for our 5-year anniversary. We got married on spring break for a reason. We've just always cruises have been our preferred anniversary trip. So we are excited for the Allure and all that has to offer. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and come along with us. Thank you so much. We'll see y'all later.